guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to episode 61 of our Hearts of Midlothian save, and today it is a summer transfer special as we work through the summer looking to build our Scottish Cup champion team, go on boys, into a Champions League group stage, hopefully qualifying team. We haven't gone anywhere, we've come straight back since last episode. There are end of season awards where Dimitri Mitchell finally claimed the top gong. And if we have a look at the squad and how we did this year, and just a sort of a quick recap so we know what we have to work with coming into the new year. Now, looking at appearances, we know that Teddy Smith, Bobby Coping, Johnson, Porty O'Connor, these guys, Cochrane, Turnbull, they were all mainstays. Mitchell, these are... Glover's not going to be able to stay as things stand. Bournemouth wanting back. We do have Curtis Jones. This is important to note. We do have Curtis Jones back on loan for next year, as well as Inaki Dominguez back on loan for next year. We're not paying any wages on either of them, which is absolutely huge because that's money we can then spend elsewhere. I do have a tentative plan to go look to spend some big wages this summer to try and get in some really, really top quality players. Claire, there were some games, Uche has an injury, which explains his less than stellar appearance record. And we go down the what's the called here, the team, I guess. Innes Cameron, quietly, 13 starts, 12 goals. He was doing really well to his injury. If we go down to the bottom here, players that we're not using. Now, we've just called Nicholas Buckley into the senior team at the end of the season. Potentially a very good player. We might even look to send him out on loan. We signed him on a free transfer, I think, in January. So we might even look to send him out on loan. But as I said at the time when I signed him, that potentially he's a really, really good attacking midfielder. It's just whether we'll be able to give him the game time to help him develop. Now, we do, of course, have some youngsters here that we're bringing through as well. Anthony Turner got one game off the bench, last game of the season, league game, and, of course, Robbie Taylor as well. Rossiter, who we signed as a backup. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we'll keep him. He only came in, really, you can see we gave him one game, but we weren't really playing with a DM. Other players here, we know that Smith's going to be leaving. McNeil, we want to keep, again, another really, really highly talented striker. Potentially anyway, and sort of up we go there. Kieran Lang we sent out on loan. He's coming back in. I think we're going to look to use him. He's again a really, really talented player. He done really well out at Kilmarnock on loan. So, and Kenny Mcintosh is another one too, another talented left back. Not developing as well as Lang, but still potentially quite good. So we're going to have to try and work a tightrope here between signing players for now, but we're also going to want to be able to develop these youngsters. We need to play them to make sure they develop. Now, the other problem we're going to have, obviously, is the players that are wanted elsewhere. Bobby Coping wanted by QPR. We should be able to see that off. He doesn't have a release fee. Mitchell, wanted by QPR, does have a release fee. Now, the question here is, if we got 8 million, he's worth more than 8 million. If we get 8 million for Dimitri Mitchell, is that worth it? What would he want as a new contract? I don't want to lose him, just to be clear. He doesn't want that much more money. That's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? That's an absolutely no-brainer. Let's do this right here, right now, live on YouTube. He still wants a release fee. All right, well, let's go 13 million, please, mate. There we go. Job done. That cost us £500 a week, and we've almost doubled the transfer fee we would get for him. And Lewis Hartford, of course, he is the big one, isn't he? Wanted by Arsenal. We will do well to keep him. If these bids keep coming in. We managed to keep him last summer. He doesn't have a release fee, does he? Because that's sort of the one thing that I am adamant about, is that we do not want a release fee in his contract. Do we do 13 million for him as well? If we get 13 million for a youngster, that may not be the worst thing. I'm not going to commit to that just yet. Hickey again is wanted, but that would be fine. Aberdeen, they're nobody. Colin McNeil wanted. Rangers would be tough, but we should be able to see them off, and then players down here that we wouldn't mind losing. So, balancing act here between keeping our best players and strengthening the squad. We'll be back with some news. There should be a commercial update very shortly. Okay, we have our commercial summary, which is always good to have a look at, I think. We've got a new sponsor here for continental competitions, which is good. Sponsorship overall has gone up a little bit. Corporate hospitality's gone up, as did match day income. Broadcast revenues went up, and competition prize money up as well to 8.1 million. If we look at the merchandise here, we sold just over 1.5 million, with about 10% of that being non-domestic. And the shirts sold, we sold just over 13,000. Ikpeazu, Uche number 1, no surprise there. Mitchell, Cochrane, Hartford and Dominguez. I tell you what, I don't think there's any surprises over there. 3 of our young midfielders that have come through the academy, then Mitchell and Uche. That all makes sense. We've got a new scouting budget as well. And of course now the facilities, they're being upgraded. So that's going to cost us a little bit of change here. If we go to finances, put a bit of a dent in the budget, but it is important because it should take our facilities up to state of the art. Because as we stand right now, we have excellent and excellent. We need to do the data analysis as well, which is less important, but it all helps raise the club profile. So yeah, that should take us to state of the art. I don't know if there's exceptional before state of the art, but everything on the sort of off the field is almost, it's the stadium. I'd like to get a bigger stadium, but everything there is looking pretty good. The one other thing here, you can see we're looking to sign a free transfer defender here, Joe Latman from France, even though he's actually English, but 22. I'll just click on his name, so it's going to be easier here. You can see he's a bit of a beast. He can pass the ball. It's a free transfer. It's a lot of money to spend on a defender. He wants a minimum release as well. I'll tell you what, we're not doing that, so you can forget that. We're not doing a sell-on fee, so you can forget that. Can we do... let's go 6.5. Let's give you a team of the year. I don't want to pay you more. Can we? How's that sound? This may go on for a little while, so we'll end it here, and hopefully we'll have breaking news that Joel Lapabadao has signed. Okay, the breaking transfer news is 1 out, 2 in. Now, the out is Peter Haring. I'm relatively happy with this one. We sold him for 1.5 million off to QPR. They want all their players QPR, but we got rid of him 1.5 million. Which is fine. That's absolutely fine. It's a really good fee for someone we didn't want to use. He gets his wages off the book as well. 2 ins, they're more sort of future ins. The first is Lindsey Mclean, a young attacking midfielder with whom we was signing from Airdrie. Airdrie for £7,500, which is next to nothing. Worst case scenario, we're going to make a tidy profit on this guy in the transfer market, but I think he's a decent player, and we might even actually call him up into the first team squad so he gets the what I want development, isn't it? That way he'll get the tutoring or the mentoring, and then we can just let him play down the under 23s. And the other one is a goalkeeper, Adam Morris. Now we've paid 55,000 for this guy, potentially rising up to 125. You can see there. A promising goalkeeper. I feel like one of the areas that we actually are weak in moving forward, beyond sort of this season perhaps with Teddy Smith, is that Teddy Smith's pretty much at his ceiling. We need a quality goalkeeper if we're going to get anywhere in Europe and beyond, or in sort of winning the Scottish Premier League and beyond. And this guy could be our man. 17 years old, from Dundee, as I said. I don't think he played last year. He played 1 game, so he's not really a first-team player even at Dundee level yet. But as far as, young goalkeepers go, I think this guy could be quite good. Not expecting him to be too much this year. He'd probably be 3rd or 4th choice for us, to be honest, right now. Although we might look to move on Connor Hazard, perhaps, and use this guy as the backup. Because don't forget, we have our other young goalkeeper who's coming back from loan that we had out on loan last year. Where is he? It's Harry Stone here. So he's still out on loan. Now, he's been overtaken here, hasn't he? Morris is a better goalkeeper. So the other problem we have goalkeeping wise is this guy, of course, who's quite good, and I thought was going to be our man, but we have to pay him $8,000 a week for him to play in the first team. So one of my problems this summer is what to do with Bulka, because we need to do something with him because he's on $3,000 a week right now. So we don't want that just sort of sitting in the reserves because he can only play cup games. But there we go, 1 in, 1 out. 2 in, as I said. Now we have also released players. If we go and have a look at our transfer history here at released players, and you'll see the people we've let go. The main ones here, people that have featured in the past. Callum Morrison was a right winger. He wasn't developing. He was good when he played for us, but he's not going to take us past where we were, I guess. So we've let him go. And the other big one, Dario Zanata, one of the Canadians, again, kind of flirted with the first team but never really established himself, and Michael Smith is the big one. He was a really good player for us, club vice captain I think he was, maybe even captain, Northern Ireland international, but we had well and truly moved past him. So there's sort of the outs in terms of players released. The other news is that we did get the signing of Joel Labadea across the line. He will join when his contract's up at the end of June or July 1st. So we'll have a look at him properly once he joins. But there's movement. There's movement at the station. Okay, we have more transfer news, and it's our first major signing of the off-season. It is Jack Lancaster, I think you pronounce that. Let's have a look at it. We've paid 4.5 million up front. You can see the fee there rising depending on games, goals, and if we were to win the Scottish Premier League. It looks like the fans like him. We're paying him just under 11 grand a week, so we have indeed gone very, very big. Let's have a look at him. He is a striker, but that's not where I'm planning on using him. I'm looking at him very much as a winger, sort of cutting in with he's got good pace. He's got decent off the ball. It's not the best though, but good dribbling. He can cross, he can finish, he can do a little bit of everything. Good vision as well, good work rate. So we're looking at him more in these sorts of roles because we do already have Uche and Cameron and McNeil, who we can use as strikers, obviously. Now you can see already, Uche doesn't like it. I can tell you, Uche, you don't have to worry about it because we're going to say competition for places is good, but you're fine. Just score goals. Just keep scoring goals. I don't know what to do here. I wasn't really expecting this. All right, just train well. Just train well, mate. Train well and you'll be in the team. Don't get injured. That always helps as well. So there we go. Let me know what you think of Jack Lancaster. I think he's going to be a good sign. Now we have had, let me get my notes here, a lot of other things to update you up on here. We do have new contracts without release clauses, or upping the release clauses, I should say, for Dimitri Mitchell, Turnbull, and O'Connor. And then we've re-signed, because they're in the last year of their contract for this upcoming season, Greg Taylor, the left back, and Teddy Smith as well. We have had some interest in players. Uche has been coming under interest from QPR. He doesn't want any part of that, so that's fine. The problem that we've had, and it wasn't one that I foresaw coming in any way, shape, or form, is actually for McNeil. Our young striker, Aston Villa wants him, and as much as I want to strengthen Aston Villa, I don't want to sell our best player. So it looks like they may have backed off. He's not happy. They're not offering enough, not offering anywhere near enough, like 200 grand, if that, plus like some sell-on fees as well. But I don't want to lose him because we can see he's a really, really good player, and he's going to be a big part of our team this year, I'm planning. So that's that. I almost sold Andy Irving. Hamilton want him. I actually did agree a fee for 125,000 plus 50% of any sell-on fee from that, but I chickened out the last minute. Of course, he's a good Premier League player. I don't think he's going to feature for us in Europe by any means, but what I do want is that if we are in Europe, playing sort of those bottom half of the table teams, he can come in, he can do a job, he can play the advanced playmaker, he can play box to box, he can do anything. So I do want to keep him for that. We're not paying him too much, so I want to try and hang on to him if we at all can. Now I don't think there's anything else that's happened by way of transfers all transfers for this season. Considine. Oh, we haven't hit the new season yet. Okay, was that this year we just got rid of Considine? That surprises me. Yeah, so just Peter Haring is the only out for now. But guys, yeah, there's more irons in the fire, so hopefully we'll be back with some more signings. Alright, Joel Latiberu, I'm going to have to learn to say this name because he's officially a Hearts player. He has signed on a free transfer. We already knew this was happening when his contract was up. So there we go, 6.75 grand a week. Really good potential, really good physically. He's a ball player, which is what we like, but he's not that good of a ball player, to be honest. We probably won't use him in that role, but another good, solid central defensive options ahead of our European adventure coming up here. We haven't got the draw yet for the qualifying rounds, but he's a Manchester City youth graduate person. He's been playing in the Championship in England, and he's been doing okay. I mean, he's been playing regularly, so he must be doing something right. But I'm relatively confident that we can get the best out of him, and I think we've got ourselves a nice little player. Otherwise, it's been a little bit of a frustrating transfer window, to be honest. We're bidding for players. The problem is that we're bidding against sort of Championship and Premier League clubs, and we're really, really struggling to outbid them in terms of wages. So we'll keep trying. What I'm looking at here is I think the place we need to strengthen, what do I want to do here? Probably tactics, is I think we've been loaning in wide players, haven't we? So that's still, I think that's where we need to look to strengthen, and potentially a goalkeeper as well. Maurice is good. He's not this season good, though. Is Teddy Smith enough for a Champions League campaign or Europa League campaigns? You know, should we get knocked out in qualifying? I mean, he did okay last year, but I do think that's a position we can look to upgrade in. So yeah, we've had one or two friendlies, which is why the team looks a little bit all over the shop right now, just trying to get everybody's match fitness up. I'm not gonna give up. I feel like we're okay at fullback. We're okay at centre back now. I feel like central midfield is a strength of ours in any case, so I don't think we need to worry too much about that. Hartford and Jones can cover in there for this year. We're probably okay in that sort of position. I think we're okay at striker as well. I just think it's the wide areas and goalkeeper that we perhaps need to look at strengthening. If something else comes up, sort of a really good player in another position, then obviously we'll look to sign them. But it's going to be sort of levels that we go up right now, and I just think that it's the wide players and the goalkeeper that we need to get everybody up to the same level, and then once we'll be competitive then at maybe who knows, maybe we can qualify for a Champions League, win a league title, and then we can look to go up to the next level again. But it's kind of what I'm thinking at. Goalkeeper and wingers, we'll keep looking. Yeah, so like I was saying, our midfield is a strength that doesn't need to be strengthened. We've signed a new player, Andre Dozzell, a midfielder. So there we go. What I liked about this guy, free transfer, so a bit of a no-brainer in that sense, but look at this, the passing, the vision, really, really good first touch, good technique. To be honest, I couldn't really say no. He's an upgrade on a lot of the midfielders that we have. I mean, now we might even look to move Andy Irving on, to be honest. Where did we get him from? We got him from, he's at Ipswich, another Ipswich player that we've signed. He's been out on loan, he's played in the Championship, and again, he was playing regularly, so he's obviously doing okay. But we can see, the qualities that this guy has. I think he'll be a good player for us. We're paying him $4,000 a week. I'm conscious of the wages that we're paying out right now, but we're trying to... Yeah, I mean, you got to spend money to make money, don't you? So that's the new signing. One other thing that has happened in terms of an out is we have sent a player out on loan. That is Connor Hazard. He's left. His wages are being paid. We're getting $5,000 a month as well, so he's off to St Mirren. And another minor out, Aidan Keener. He was never going to make it. We sold him off to Waterford. So the Irishman goes back to Ireland for a transfer fee of $10,000. You can see it's worth more than that. I would have liked to have maybe got a sell-on fee or something, but to be honest, I don't think we're going to miss out on that much money. He's not going to go on anything beyond sort of what we're currently at. So 2 outs, 1 in. You can see we've got him 1.5. We have spent 4.5 or 4.6 behind my head there. So we're relatively breaking even to a point. A couple of free transfers as well. Wages, what are they looking like? We're up to 102. So we still have about $20,000 a week we can spend. Transfer budgets had a bit of a hit, but there's still money there. I'm a little bit conscious of the overall balance, but like I say, we were always going to go big this summer, and we're doing that. So I'm hoping we'll still have some more signings to come. Hello, Uche. Hey, mate, Aussie Villain, how you doing? Whoa, look, don't hang up, mate. I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. Jack was not signed to replace you. He's going to be playing on the left wing. You're still our main man. Mate, what can I do? What can I do to prove to you you're a valued member of my team? Look, mate, I can't do that. I can't buy you Edinburgh Castle. But what I can do, Michael Smith has left the club. We need a new captain. How would you like to be captain of Hearts? You accept, but you still want to leave. Okay, well, look, I can't have a captain that wants to leave, mate, but congratulations, you're captain of Hearts. I know you'll come around and see how it's going to be once the season starts. So congratulations, mate. You are the new captain of Hearts of Midlothian. So there we go with Michael Smith departing. We needed a new captain, and who better than Uche? He's already a team leader anyway, so it made sense. We've made Darnell Johnson vice captain. He has the sort of better attributes, but he's sort of newish to the club. But Uche, he's still worried. This I don't understand. He's worried about new boy Jack there coming in and replacing him, so he just wants to leave. I'm not going to fight for it. I'm not going to prove my worth to you, despite being your top goal scorer for the whole time at the club. I'm just going to leave. So I keep telling him in the press, it's all right, mate. It's fine. Relax. You're still first choice, but eventually you'll get over that. I'm hoping being captain as well, he will lead by example, and that will smooth things over there. But you can see dynamics is looking really, really good. But that's not why we're back. This is why we're back. The Champions League. The draw for the third place qualifying round. Now, I understand 10 teams go into the hat for the 4 matches to be drawn. So the maths of that doesn't work out for me personally, but we'll see how we go here. So let's have a look. We are... Oh, I see. So there's still some ties going on here. So we are going to be drawn against either Dynamo Kiev or Rapid Vienna, Genk, Galatasaray or Young Boys, or Sporting. Now, we've played Sporting in Europe before, I'm pretty sure. We played them in the Europa League. Genk's probably got some good young... I don't really know what to... it doesn't matter what I want, because it's not going to make any difference, is it? Let's see who we get here. Oh, it's Dynamo Kiev or Rapid Vienna. Now, I don't know if this means we have the first leg away from home. Possibly it does, possibly it doesn't. Maybe it's an open draw, actually. It might just be an open draw, so that's maybe worked out in our favour. We can go away from home. We can hopefully get a really, really good result and go from there. So there we go. It's going to be one of these two teams. Now, have they played already? Can we go to best place, second qualifying round? Have they played yet? Doesn't look like they have, does it? Let's go to profile here. What we want to find out as well is so we want best place, second qualifying round. So they haven't played yet. Now I did check the rules, and I'm pretty sure if we lose Champions League, best placed, third qualifying round. So if we lose, we go into the group stage of the Europa League. So we are in no danger whatsoever of getting dumped from Europe altogether, which is excellent. So there's no prize money here for us, obviously, because if we lose, we just go. Oh, didn't mean to click that. We just go straight into the Europa League. Is it the same for the second place for the second round as well? No, they still got to qualify. So we don't really have anything to lose. If we were to get, obviously, through this, we would then go into the playoff to get into the group stage. And again, there's no necessary prize money there for us, but it would mean that we could go straight on into, it would be group stage either way. So worst case scenario here, we are in the group stage of the Europa League. That is amazing. That means I can sort of spend a little bit more money here as well. And yeah, we're struggling to find other players now to bring in, which is a little bit disappointing. But knowing that we definitely have at least Europa League group stage football, I can kind of bank on that money a touch. So finances, they haven't changed too much. We haven't sold anybody. We haven't signed anybody. They're taking a nosedive, but that is down to our facilities being upgraded. So don't worry too much about that. But there we go. Uche's captain. We've got Dynamo Kiev or Rapid Vienna in the Champions League qualifying. There we go. Okay, we are now on the eve of our first Scottish Premier League game. It's going to be against Hamilton, and it will be next episode. But that means, for now, the summer transfer special has come to an end. Has it been as busy as I'd like? Possibly not, but I mean, there's still time. We still have over a month to go before the window closes. So the ones that are out, Peter Haring, we sort of expected this would be the case. 1.5 million off the QPR. Aidan Keener, 10 grand back to Ireland. Connor Hazard, Northern Irish international. He's at St Mirren on loan this year. They're paying his wages plus 5 grand a month. And Mark Burns, another one of our youngsters, we're sending him off to Motherwell just to try and get first team football. He would be our fourth choice left back, so there's no point stunting his development. We'll send him off to Motherwell. Hopefully he'll get some games there and develop nicely for us. Now the ins. The first up here is Lindsey Mclean. Not necessarily one for this year, but potentially a very good player for the future. It only cost us 7.5 grand, so we can't really lose on that one. We're paying him £150 a week as well. Adam Morris. I think this guy could be a very good keeper for us, but I think he's probably still behind Teddy Smith for this season. But we will give him some games and see how he goes. That was 55 grand, raising to 125 if he becomes a success. This was the big one so fast. Jack Lancaster, 4.5, rising to 7.75. It says he's a striker. I want to use him more as sort of one of our wingers to get forward and nick some goals as well. Good finishing, good dribbling, decent crossing, good physicals. So I think he'll do a good job for us. Only 22 as well. So, worst case scenario, hopefully we'll have a little bit of sell-on value. If he doesn't work out, we'll get our money back for him. The 2 free transfers. Joel Latta, I don't know how to say that name, but a really good, high potential young centre-back. Signing for Manchester City on a free. I don't really see this guy's going to be good, I think. I really do think he's going to be good. And then Andre Dozzell, another good young midfielder. We have a lot of him. He's actually older than a lot of our midfielders right now. He's closer to his potential as well. But yeah, as I said before, I do like his passing, his vision. Technique's good as well. So I think we've got a good player in our hands with old Andre there. So that being said, let's go and have a look at the team we have leading into the opening day of the season here. As I said, there's still time to strengthen, so we'll see how we go here. Now, the strikers. Funnily enough, our best striker is not the man we're going to play there, Lancaster, but if we have to play him there, we will. The main ones here are Uche, though he is unhappy right now. I'm hoping that will change once he sees that he is still our first choice. Innes Cameron as well. Hopefully he'll continue on last season, because he was really, really good until his injury, and then he just never quite came back. Brophy, I am actively looking to sell Brophy. I don't think we need him right now. So actually, we'll take him off because I do actually want to try and sell him. Henderson can play up front, though I do prefer him as a left-sided player. And Colin McNeil, we've warded off Aston Villa. He's not looking to leave to them anymore. They're not interested in signing him, so that is good news for us. So the big three there, I think, will be McNeil, Cameron, and Uche. In behind them, the number 10, we know that Hartford, we haven't had any bids for him as of yet. I'm hoping that stays the case. And we get to have him for another year. That would be really, really good news. Sean Clare, we can play him. He can play anywhere behind the striker. So we've kept him for another year as well. Though I tell you what, for 9.75 million, I'd consider selling. Curtis Jones, of course, we've got him on loan this season. We're not paying anything of his wages. He's a good option back here, as is Anthony McDonald as well, who's just starting to maybe stagnate a little bit. I'm considering putting him out on loan just to keep his development, and Lindsey Mclean as well is a good option in here. We do also have, Buckley, or whatever his name is, the Welsh guy, as another option that can play in there as well. Now, if we look at the wingers, Sean Clare, he's actually going to be second choice, as I said, because Jack Lancaster is going to be the first choice here. Henderson's a good option. Youngster, Anthony Turner, he could be anything, and we do want to try and give him some game time to keep his development going. There's our actual, ironically enough, our first choice guy, and of course McDonald, and you can see there's 4 other players that can play there as well. On the right, McDonald, it says is our highest rated player, I guess, along with Lancaster. I'm still looking for a player here. I think to start with, our first choice, we might look to use Sean Clare over here, given that he is right-footed. But Curtis Jones is more likely going to be the guy we see out here. This is the position that I'm still really looking to strengthen. I had to go for Angel Gomez, the Manchester United youngster. I'll try and see if I can find them. But he wanted 33 grand a week. He ended up going to Aston Villa. And there was another Liverpool youngster I had to go for, but he went to Derby for 15 grand a week. So just out of our range, unfortunately, those two. Harry Cochrane, we know he's a really good option in midfield, as is Dominguez. Again, we have him for this year without paying anything of his wages. Aaron Hickey is a good option. Jordan Rossiter, I'm increasingly thinking he's not going to work out for us. He's unhappy now as well, so we might even just look to get rid. On the other side of midfield here, Davy Turnbull, we know what he can do. He's a quality, as is Andre Duzel. Well, we don't know what he can do yet, but I'm hoping we'll see what he can do. We did end up keeping Andy Irving. I actually agreed a fee of 450 grand for him to go to Hamilton, then chickened out of that one as well, because I do just want that bit of cover in there. And Ethan Hamilton, he's a decent enough player. Maybe I should have sold, for the amount that they're going to play, sold Irving and kept him, but I keep chickening out of that one. We don't really have a DM as of yet. That's something I might look to do. Rossiter would be the man to play there right now. But again, that's something maybe I should look to do for Europe. If we have a look here at the centre-backs, really happy with our centre-back options. No, we need to click over here, don't we? So we've got Porty O'Connor, we've got the new boy, and we've got Fitzgerald as sort of just your out-and-out centre-backs, not the ball players. Then as far as ball players go, we've got Bobby Coping, and we know all about him already. And we also have Proctor. Again, we don't know all about him yet, but we do know there's a good player in there. And Rossiter can play back here as well as a ball player, but the jumping reach of 5, strength of 10, I don't think we're going to be seeing him doing that too often. Left back, very happy with our options here. Player of the season, of course, last year, Dimitri Mitchell. Greg Taylor, fresh with his new contract. And, of course, our youngster, Kenny Mcintosh, very, very highly rated. And then we've got 3 good options on the right as well. Darnell Johnson, our young player of the year last year. We've also got Usi Tutu, and we know that he is a good, solid option. And one of the stars of the future, Kieran Lang. Really, really excited to see him and what he can do this season. Goalkeepers, we have the 2 main ones. We have some youngsters as well, but Teddy Smith will start the year as number 1, and then Adam Maurice, as we've just seen, will start at number 2. Hopefully he'll challenge, and he might even end the year at number 1. Who knows what we're going to see from there. But guys, that is it for today. As I said, still some work to do, especially on that right side of midfield, and we will probably look to loan in a DM as well at number 6. So, that's all for next time, though, but we will get our season underway against Hamilton, and we have a Betfred Cup game. We'll probably do that as well, get the 2 games in for the first game of the episode. Pre-season's gone okay, but again, we'll review that next time. So until next time, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.